This is me, and I love disc golf.
That looks much better.
That, oh yeah, that's gonna be great.
That's
Coming out at the
big.
perfect time.
That's big.
Oh my god.
So my dad and I decided to embark on an adventure to play 3 of the top disc golf courses in the world, and this is the first episode where we visit the #1 course in Pennsylvania, Faylor Lake. Well, after a 9-hour drive, we're here at Faylor Lake, so we're gonna play the course. It's like 60 degrees, overcast, fog, completely different weather than what we had in Charlotte. Let's go throw some shots. All right, everybody. So for this series, I not only wanted to just show you guys the course, but I want to do my best to bring you guys as much value as possible. I respect your time. And I know a lot of you guys, after seeing this video, are going to wonder if you should go play the course. So I want to break this course review down into a few different aspects. The first of which is the most important aspect to me is how fun is the course. Faylor Lake, at the time of playing it, this was the first course that we did on our 3-course swing. We did the #1 course in Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and New York. And at the time of making this video, this is the #1 course I've ever played in my entire life. We played a mixture of short and long tees, whichever one looked more fun. There was also short and long basket placements. And yeah, we played both different basket placements on a few different holes. And I can say without a doubt, whether you're an advanced disc golfer, you're a beginner or intermediate disc golfer, if you go to Faylor Lake, you rent a cabin out, you spend a weekend on the lake, you play the disc golf course, you sign up for a tournament out there, you are absolutely not going to regret it. It's super fun to play, and not all high-level top courses in the world are necessarily fun to play. All right, we're just a couple holes in right now, but this property is so sick. It's so serene, massive lake, really nicely carved, but still wooded fairways. And there's a little bunny rabbit right there. I don't want to spoil too much in the upcoming videos, but one of the other courses that we played on this trip, although it is a top-ranked course in the world, this is going to shock a lot of you guys, but we did not find it all that fun to play one of the other 2 courses that we played in this trip. And it's a #1 course in that state.
The elevation there is out of bounds. So like, but do what you want.
You local?
Ish. I'm like an hour and a half away.
Oh, nice. All right,
It's not
let's
my first time, but
let's see this.
I'm gonna watch him throw, and then I'll toss.
I don't know if I'll be a good judge of how to throw this, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, did not get the tone. Oh, that's great.
Something like that, all right.
Nice shot.
It's time to come out properly. As long as that one's not super flippy, oh, it's flippy. You might get a roller out of it though, who knows?
Roll.
Oh, you did.
That looks much better.
That, oh yeah, that's gonna be great.
That's
Coming out at the
big.
perfect time.
That's big.
Oh.
Oh, I love it. That's gonna fade. He nailed it. The Ice Dad threw 500 feet today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. All right, we got the chip locked
Check it out.
disc golf game. We bumped into the owner of Chip Locked.
What's up?
This is free promo, and your name was Jason.
Jace.
And we haven't checked this out yet, but we're excited to check it out. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the course upkeep and the course design. The course design is amazing. You're throwing off these huge, like, top-of-the-world shots. There's a handful of really high-level woodsy shots that were technical and super fun for those of you who like those more technical shots. And then there's some absolute wide-open bomber holes that were just so fun to play. Where I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is one of the best disc golf cities in the world, we don't have a ton of elevation, so getting to throw off these huge top-of-the-world shots was just such a fun experience. So the next thing that's super important to me is the overall atmosphere. Faylor Lake, the second you pull into that parking lot, It is so gorgeous. The lake is absolutely massive. It is so serene. It is so peaceful. That property embodies everything that high-level disc golf is all about. The course is super fun, and it is on a 5-star top-tier property. And on top of all that, the course design was an absolute gem. Wow, it is getting super windy behind me here. So the next most important thing when I'm going and playing a disc golf course, is it fun? Is it worth the trip? And would I go back? The atmosphere is super important for me. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's serene. It's a place where you can just let go, not have to worry about your safety, like not have to worry about anything other than having fun. So the course itself is super important to me, but right below that is the quality of the area in which it is in. And if you gather a group of friends, rent a cabin or a lake house at Faylor Lake for a weekend or for 3 or 4 days, you and your friends are gonna have the time of your life. You can go on the lake, you can do water stuff, you can play the disc golf course. If you wanna get out in nature and just enjoy being outside, then this is the property for you. Now, the next aspect that I wanna talk about is the baskets and the tee pads. I didn't see any issues with any of the baskets or tee pads. Everything seemed relatively new. The tee pads were turf tee pads and the ground was quite wet, and I didn't have any slip issues. And even though the turf pads were pretty wet, and there was a tournament actually going on that very next day, there had been a lot of people playing earlier in the day. The tee pads were not slick, nothing was super muddy, and it was just, everything was perfect. It was the tee pads, the baskets were really great. We didn't have any spit out issues, no basket issues. We had no issues out on the course. Like everything was just 5-star from beginning to end. And with that being said, I'm actually going to give Faylor Lake an overall overarching score of a 10 out of 10. And I know it's really hard to say something is perfect, but this course set the tone for the rest of the trip, and the bar could not have been set any higher. From just getting out of the car and being at this property, it's just so beautiful. From the second you start until the second you finish, there's not a bad hole in the course. It was fun from beginning to end. We played multiple tees to multiple different basket placements. We played, I was playing with my dad. He plays MA50, and he doesn't throw super far. So I would throw some of the longer holes, and then he would go up and throw a lot of the shorter holes. And we both had such a good time. So you can be a top-level touring pro and challenge yourself and play all of the long tees to all of the long baskets. And it's going to be one of the hardest courses you have ever played. But if you're someone who wants to have a more casual experience, just play the shorts to shorts, the shorts to the long baskets, or sometimes even the long tee to the short basket. We just did a really nice mixture. We did an all-star layout. We just intuitively said, like, this is the hole that looks the most fun to us. And at this point in my disc golf career, that is basically how I play all courses. If I roll up to Hornet's Nest, I'm playing whatever tee I want to whatever basket I want. I'm never just boxing myself into a specific layout unless it's in competitive play. So with that being said, the layout was amazing from start to finish. We had so much fun. There wasn't a single bad hole on the course. So many unique shot shapes, unique par fours, unique, just really awesome placement shots, throwing off the big mountains, just the view of the lake. There's a few holes that play close to the lake, but they didn't incorporate the water a ton. There was 1 or 2 holes where the water is incorporated. Hole 18, if you play to the long basket, you are throwing this insane, like 350-foot upshot onto this like long, skinny peninsula. All right, so the camera was on photo mode. We played hole 18 just now. I threw it straight into the water. I'm gonna flip you guys around in a second here. The short tee plays to right there, but the long tee, you throw from up there on the peninsula, down past the building, and then you throw down to this peninsula, super skinny peninsula. This is an insane shot. He looks like he's had a hard day.
From about the same spot. Jake to go first, though. Look at this.
Forehand.
Standstill forehand.
Digs. Sits.
My gosh, I hadn't seen almost a single disc stay on that island. It's such a small space, really hard ground.
That was
What a time to do
incredible.
exactly what he needed. So, okay, AB's long, he's out of bounds. He's got a putt for birdie, and he needs it to win. Otherwise, we go to a playoff. Wow. And it was hard to tell, but Ethan's disc actually just skipped off Jake's disc. He just got a bit of bad luck there. So now, this is for the win. Four inches short. And that is actually closer than I think he should have been.
Believable.
But it was the...
Hitting the wall?
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. And then look at this here. See that, folks? That's a putter.
Yeah, he's going more of like a base grit plastic.
Into the sunlight.
Wow, and he dimed it up. Using that sticky putter, making sure it grabs grass.
That was like that reminded me of like Calvin Heimberg back in Las Vegas a couple years ago when Kev was playing solid golf, but Calvin just had the foot on the gas the whole time and executed. Jake just...
And we actually saw Jake Hebenheimer park that shot to defeat Anthony Barella at the A tier there earlier this year. It was one of the greatest shots I've seen of all time. So if you've not watched that coverage, I would highly advise you to look up the A tier at Faylor Lake. Anthony Barella versus Jake Hebenheimer. It was one of the greatest shots that I've ever seen, and it flew super under the radar. And then there's one other really long par 4 where you tee off, then you tee through a tunnel in the woods that goes towards the water. And when you look down at this basket, you just see the basket in this tunnel, and it's just water behind it. All you see is water. So there were a few holes that incorporated the water, which again, just adds bonus points to me. You're not throwing over water all the time. You're not risking losing your discs all of the time. But man, there were a few holes where the water really was in play. And I think it was just the absolute perfect amount of water holes to just make this course, however you want to look at it, 10 out of 10, 5 stars. Faylor Lake is just an absolute monster of a course. No matter what your skill level is, you can grab a group of friends and you guys can all enjoy a weekend at the lake and play. At this point in time, I haven't played Wilcox or Maple Hill. So at this point in time, Faylor Lake is officially my #1 course of all time. And I would highly advise you guys to get out there and play it for yourselves. Watching this video and hearing my review, I hope it encourages you to get outside your comfort zone, hop on a flight, make the long drive.
Talk to you in a minute, baby.
All right, we've been driving for like 10 hours today. We played Faylor Lake. Official review coming on that ASAP. But we're just going to drive the last 5 hours through the night, get to Albany, and the journey will continue tomorrow. About to grab some goated snacks.
Wilkes-Barre Airport.
All right, we're driving on the highway at night, and there's aliens. Oh, what are those? Blink, 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 blink. The cat is out of the bag. Faylor Lake is my, at this point in time, after playing that course, I hadn't played the other two yet, my #1 favorite course of all time. Now, we're going to have to keep the suspense here for you guys. I'm recording these videos from the perspective of how I was feeling at that time. So I could play Wilcox and put it above Faylor. I could play Maple Hill and put it above Faylor. But the bar's up here, and those courses have some work to do to get above Faylor. It was a 10 out of 10 experience, and it's going to be very difficult to beat. So I'm excited to share my whole experience with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay humble, live with gratitude. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and take care. Next time on Iceberg TV, we're about to go play the #1 course in New York State. And he's about to have Wheats with the greatest chocolate milk known to man. All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, the chocolate mini wheats. 1 to 10.
Chocolate frosted mini wheats. That's terrible B-roll.
All right, guys, so we're here at the world famous Wilcox Park, the #1 course in the state of New York. Let's play.